What's up guys, RoyalZProduction here, and today I'm going to go over my gear loadout, just pretty much any gear that I regularly take to shoots, whether it's music video, corporate, really whenever. Mostly tailored towards music video or just kind of like run and gun shooting.
Okay, tick-tock out of my wrist, watch, I keep a stick, I keep a beat.
So first on the list here, I just have a pretty crappy camera bag I gotta upgrade, but I'm gonna start with the camera that I shoot off of. I shoot off Panasonic GH5, it's a micro four thirds crop sensor. I also run a metabones speedbooster, the 0.61 speedbooster. These bodies are great. I started with Canon T3i originally, and then slowly upgraded to the Panasonic GH4, which we shot on at StratLab, and now I shoot with the GH5, and I've had this for quite some time now. I paired it with the Metabone Speed Booster just so I could use Canon glass. I mean, this camera is pretty awesome. I love the fact that the In Body Stabilization is super steady, and the 4K and 60 FPS is great, is like a really nice feature. You can get all the way up to like 180 FPS, which is like really nice for those crisp slow motion. I usually will only use like 90 or 120, especially in like music videos or like action shots and whatnot. But I mean, this thing is super durable. I am pretty rough with my cameras. Like, I'm not so much like dropping them, but like, you know, I'm banging them around. They're always jammed. My gear's always jam packed inside my bag, and I've just never had issues with these things, and it is just a super durable body. I mean, I've traveled all over with it. I've gotten sand, snow, rain, like everything pretty much. I mean, it is a weatherproof body. Yeah, it's held up awesome. I've done a lot of club shooting. I've literally gotten like drinks splashed all over this thing, and it still works perfectly fine. So yeah, I'm on the GH5, but I am looking to upgrade to a full frame body at some point. I'm just waiting for those new Panasonic series to come out, or the new A7 series to come out, the A7S series. So yeah, GH5, love this thing. I'm actually shooting off of it right now for this tutorial. I'm just using the second one in the office, but yeah, paired with the Metabone Speed Booster, it's awesome. And keep in mind that you can get you know, a lower f-stop as well. So when I pair this with my 18 to 35mm lens, my Sigma, I can get all the way down to 1.1 aperture. It's a pretty tight focus, but even at that, like, it's super nice for low light, especially for a cropped micro four thirds sensor. So GH5 is the primary camera I'm shooting with, and what I shoot with for like everything. So any of the music videos, any of the videos that you've seen on the channel, especially for 2018, were all shot on the GH5, and I'll make a video if I do upgrade. But yeah, GH5, love this thing. As for lenses, so I'm shooting off of right now a Canon 24-70, the full frame. I do like that lens, especially for nice like corporate shooting. It's not too zoomed in, and you can still get a decently wide shot. Primary lens would have to be the Sigma 18 to 35. This thing is an absolute beast. The thing I like most about it is that it pairs with a gimbal really well, and if you watch my videos, I do a lot of gimbal work, especially with my automotive videos. It's all pretty much on a Ronin. My music videos, I always bring it to shoots with me, and you know, I do a fair amount of handheld, but if I am on a stabilizer, it's always a Ronin M. You know, unlike a Canon 24-70, where when you zoom, the whole lens kind of sticks out, so it's really difficult to balance, you know, your gimbal for those types of lenses, where with the 18 to 35, everything's internal, so the focus is all internal, so nothing's kind of popping out here. So when I balance my Ronin for the 18 to 35, I'll zoom it all the way into 35mm, balance it up, and honestly, like, if I want to punch back out all the way out to 18mm and get like a wider shot, there's no issues with the motors on the gimbal. I don't notice any sort of shakiness or anything. It still holds up really well. So that's why I love this 18 to 35. The fact that it's a 1.8 is awesome. This comes with me everywhere I go. Extremely durable lens too. And for the price point of like $900 to $1,000 Canadian, you really can't beat it. It's a great photography lens too. Takes great portraits. It's super sharp. And honestly, if you do wreck it, crack it, whatever, break it, I mean, at the end of the day, for $1,000 for a brand new one really isn't that bad. So yeah, this comes with me everywhere I go. It's my primary lens, I would say. nifty 50, the 50mm 1.8 Canon. I love these things too. You'll see I'll pull these out for tighter, especially for music videos. I'll pull this thing out still like it's $150 Canadian lens, and this thing is just an absolute beast for the price. Super sharp macro lens. The more close-up shots of music videos, which I'll lay over right now, as you can see, just the detail is so sharp, and the 50mm focal length is really nice too. You're not too far away, but you're also not too close. So it's just a really nice lens to be using, and it's just super sharp. If you're running a Canon or the same setup as me, like a GH4, GH5, G7, any sort of Panasonic with the metabones speed booster with a EF mount, this should be your first lens, as it's so cheap. So yeah, this thing comes around with me everywhere I go as well, just because of the size of it. I mean, it fits in your camera bag super easily, fits in my palm like nothing, and it's just super lightweight, durable. So yeah, 50mm 1.8 Canon lens always comes with me as well. The ND filters, these are fully adjustable variable NDs, so basically come in a case, pop it out, and it'll basically thread onto the very front of your lens. So let's say it's a super sunny day out, everything's blown out, I want to hit that 2.8 or like 1.8 f-stop, but it's just, everything's just kind of blown out. You literally just adjust this in or out, and you can hit that f-stop with perfect exposure. So ND filters come with me everywhere I go. I have an ND filter for each lens I have. So whenever I do take a lens with me, especially if I'm shooting in the daytime, I just pair every single lens with a variable ND filter. Usually if I'm going to be running a music video or really any sort of video that requires B-roll shots, I do take my gimbal with me, the Ronin or the Ronin M, just because it's you know, it packs into a case, super easy to carry around, and setup is pretty quick now for me. So I always make sure to have my HD 501 monitor with me. It's just a small little monitor. These things are super sharp. I found this used actually from a friend in the States, but it takes two little Canon mount batteries, so it has two little slots here. Battery time isn't the best on these, but the sharpness of the focus on this thing is insane, and it outlines what's in focus too, so you can adjust all of that inside of the HD 501. But this is a great monitor. I know a lot of people use aperture and whatnot. This is a pretty expensive option, but if you can find one used, chances are there's going to be nothing wrong with it. So I highly recommend these. Again, extremely durable. They come with a protective screen on the front, and yeah, I love this thing. And I never actually use my gimbal anymore unless I have a monitor with me. So it just makes for a tighter shot, easier shot. You're not trying to peek through a small LCD screen on your camera. So HD 501 monitor, highly recommend this monitor. It's great. Now when I do want to go handheld with any shots, I will typically, if I have time, I'll just quickly screw on my small rig cage. It's a GH5 small rig cage. So basically when you buy this thing, it's going to come with what you see here. So just the top handle and then the cage. Top handle has a little slot on the front so you can mount a mic. So my Rode Video Pro mic that I'm recording off of right now, I'll mount that usually on the top, and then on the side I'll toss a little small rig adapter, so a little small rig adapter, one of these, and it just has a bunch of little screw mounts. So I'll usually screw this on like this, and then I have a spot to mount my HD 501 monitor. So I can have a monitor, I can have a mic on there. You can buy a bunch of aftermarket support for this, so you can get little like wooden side grips just to make it a little more of a beefier cage setup. But for the most part, these are awesome too. Just add some more weight to the camera, and if you shoot off a GH5 or have done your research, you know that the In Body Stabilization is unbelievable. So with that being said, with any more weight that you add to the camera is generally going to make your handheld shots a little more smooth. So, you know, if I'm doing a lot of, you know, freehand stuff that you see me doing, it's pretty much, which I'll lay over right now, it's pretty much all done with a small rig or even just handheld on the GH5, but this definitely makes for tighter shots. Easier to just kind of carry your camera around and whatnot, especially if you're traveling, walking around a bunch. Small rig, GH5 cage, highly recommend these two, especially for the price. A lot of the small rig products are going to be super cheap and affordable, so yeah, highly recommend it. Nothing's broke on this. I've had it for about a year, and yeah, it's just been great. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet. I've been getting a lot of questions revolving around, you know, what gear do you use on a regular basis, on a regular shoot, music video, whatever. So I thought I'd just make a little simple gear loadout list. I might be making more of these in the future if I do upgrade any of my gear, But for now, I just want to keep it short and sweet, show you that you don't really need like a whole production list of like gear to run your music video sets or run just regular videos. Pretty short list, you know, I only really take 2 to 3. I'll always take my 18-35 lens with me and my 50mm, sometimes my 24-70 if I feel the need to use it, but for the most part, yeah, just 3 lenses, camera body, a mic, small rig, and ND filters if I'm shooting in daylight, as well as my Dracast lights. So it's a pretty simple loadout. But yeah, that's it for the most part. If you guys have any questions or anything, just leave a comment in the description. Every single piece of equipment that I showed you can be found in the link in the description. Exact same gear I use. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember guys, when you throw a comment down there, I do see all those comments and I do reply to every single comment. If you don't want to leave a comment, or you can toss me a DM or email, you can DM me on Instagram at visuals_by_RoyalZ. I do respond to all my DMs there as well, so don't hesitate to ever hit me up if you have any questions. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.